Another example of a semantic markup is the abbreviation and the acronym. So it is possible on your web page you want to put an acronym and then write the full meaning or embed the full meaning in it. You don't want to specify or to write everything in full. So you intend to abbreviate it and then write the full meaning when it is clicked or when something occurs or when something happens. It is possible to do that on your web page. But in previous versions of HTML, which is HTML4, there were separate elements for abbreviations and then for acronym. The abbreviation tag is ABBR and then the acronym is acronym with the full spelling acronym. But in HTML5 and now, both the abbreviations and the acronym can all use the element ABBR, which is the abbreviation. So there are no separate element for abbreviation and acronym. Even though when you use both of them now, the browsers are still able to render it. We are going to use both in our examples so that you actually follow and then be able to do some. So we are going straight into our text editor. I've already copied some abbreviations that I've typed. I just pasted it as a paragraph. So you see abbreviation, which is ABBR. First of all, it's a paragraph. So you see a P and then a P at the end. And you also see the abbreviation ABBR. You see the closing of the ABBR. You see a title attribute. I will explain what attributes are. The title attribute is used in writing the full meaning of what you have abbreviated. So here you see in inverted commas, you see Ghana and I've written GH. So what you actually see on my visible content area of the web page or of the web browser is GH. In GH is embedded the word Ghana. I will display it for you to see. So I say Ghana is a country in West Africa and has a lot of developers. That's the end of the paragraph. And I also wrote acronym. So I'm using both the abbreviation and the acronym. Even though now the acronym can also be put aside for now, and then only ABBR be used for both acronym and abbreviation. Both of them work though. So this is an example where I've used let me separate it, where I've used acronym to explain. You can also see acronym instead of ABBR here. You see acronym here, and it also has a title, Economic Community of West African States, and you see ECOWAS, and in the closing tag of the acronym is a mother organization of which Ghana is a proud member. So let's save this particular file. Let's save this file, okay, and then refresh our browser. Let's refresh our browser. So when I refresh the page, I'll see my abbreviations here. The moment I hover my mouse pointer on the abbreviation, I see the full meaning written over there, Ghana. Then when I hover my mouse pointer again on ECOWAS, I see the full meaning, which is Economic Community of West African States. So what I've done is that I've used the title attribute to indicate the full meaning of the word I have shortened or have abbreviated. If you use the ABBR, it is going to work, and if you use the acronym just as we have used, it is going to work. The next thing we are going to look at is citation and definitions. How to cite someone and how to define a particular or a new object on your web page. It is possible that in your line of duty, you'll be citing some books or you'll be referencing some books, some documents elsewhere, and then some speeches that you are not the original author. So it is possible you'll be referencing, it says when referencing, when you are referencing a piece of work such as a book, film, or a research paper, the element can be used, which element? The cite element can be used to indicate where the citation is from. In HTML5, HTML5 should not be used in what? Referencing someone's name. But it is allowed in HTML4. And then by default, citations are italicized. Let's try it. Straight to my editor. And I can indicate a paragraph here and type a very long time in Africa there were 3 men, namely Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, Nelson Mandela and Gaddafi. So I would like to cite a very long time in Africa. For instance, if Long Time in Africa was a book or a novel I read and I want to cite it, I can just bring the tag cite here and then I'll put Long Time in Africa between the 2 tags to get my cite element. So I get a very long time in Africa. That is for the cite or citation. That is perfect. Now when we say definition or when you're defining something, simply means when we use any jargon, any new word, any new terminology, it could be in any field at all, and then we want people to understand that this is a new terminology we are using. For instance, I bring another paragraph and I type in the paragraph, to rain cats and dogs means to rain heavily. For instance, if this is what I want, and let's say cat and dog is a new word I've used on my website or on my web page, I can decide to what? Define it. Now the tag or the element defined is uses DFN. So let's try it. DFN, and then put cat and dogs between these 2 open and close tags of defined. Let me save it. Let me refresh my web page. Now you can see that a very long time in Africa. The long time in Africa, which I use the citation or I cited, is what? Is italicized by default. This is to indicate that it's a book or a novel or an article written somewhere. I told you it is bad practice to use citation for names, even though you can do that. Okay, and then this one is also what? To define. This is a new word. So cat and dogs, these are all not used in changing the structure, because if you actually wanted to italicize both this and that, you could have used what? Italics, which is I. You remember emphasis also does the same thing, EM. And then this, now we are doing citation and definition, you are still italicizing. This is just to make the screen readers appreciate what we have done, okay? And then so that programs or softwares will be able to render them appropriately. That's exactly why we are doing all these things. They are very, very important. The last thing we are going to talk about, not the last thing though, but one thing we are also going to talk about is address. How to put the author's address. Let's say when I write an article on your web page, it's supposed to indicate who wrote it, my address, so that people can reach me easily. So that is what we are going to do now. So to indicate the address of an author, let me paste so we can see. So the name of the element is address, ADDRESS. Full, you open it here and then you close it here and then enclose it in a paragraph. So this is first paragraph, which indicates the email. I will show you how it will come. It will come as a link. This A is an anchor. We'll get to anchor very soon when we are doing links. And then this href is trying to reference this hyperlink, which I will also show you. And then this particular paragraph is the one that contains the address itself. So let's save this. Okay, this is the part that contains the anchor, the href. It comes as a link. You see Mr. Sewuni. And then this is the address, 54 Anyanya Palace Town, Accra, Ghana. And this is the, so in case you want to send me a message directly through my email, you can just click on this. Straightforward. It takes you to your email client and you can send me the message. So let's say I contribute to this particular web page. I've written a very nice article and my address has been written just under it. Okay, if you want to even visit my website for more articles to read, you can enter a reference of my website, in this link here, and you can indicate here for more, and this one is what the address of the author, and this is what the email to the author. Thank you for having time to go through this video. We hope it was helpful, and see you in the next video. Thank you.